evening and welcome to the regular Planning Commission meeting for December 2nd, 2021. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a report on posting of the agenda and roll call, please.
Tonight's agenda was posted on Wednesday, November 24th at 3:51 p.m. Roll call. Commissioner Lewis.
Here.
Vice Chair Doyle.
Here.
Commissioner Jezebel Moreno.
Here.
Commissioner Ridley. Commissioner Van Dahl is excused absent. Commissioner Ellie.
Here.
Chair Fisher.
Here. Thank you. Next up are public comments. This period is for comments from the public that are items not on the agenda. I'm going to open the public comment. Seeing no members of the public, I'm going to close the public comment and move on to the consent agenda. The chair is open for a motion on the consent agenda.
A motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you. We have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
And I have a second. Motion and a second. Is there any comments or questions or discussion of the motion? Seeing none, please call the vote.
Roll call. Commissioner Lewis.
Yes.
Commissioner Doyle.
Yes.
Commissioner Jezebel Moreno.
Yes.
Commissioner Ellie.
Yes.
Chair Fisher.
Yes. Motion carries 5 to 1 absent and 1 excused absent. Next up is public hearings. First item is tentative map application to subdivide approximately 2.88 acres for build out of the Palomino Phase 2 neighborhood of the Glen Loma Ranch specific plan. Applicant Tim Felice, representing Felice Family Estates. Staff report, please.
So, Chair Fisher, items A and B on the agenda, the applicant has requested that those be continued off calendar, so we don't have a date certain. So at this time, we're just informational only, no vote or motion is needed, and we'll bring it back at some point in the future.
Okay, we don't need to continue this at all. We just we don't need to vote to continue it to a date uncertain.
You know, let's be on the safe side. Let's go ahead and do that. I mean, I think we can do both A and B at the same time under one vote.
We can do both at the same.
Yeah. Yes.
Technically, I think we're supposed to open public comment. So I'm going to open the public hearing on both of these items. Seeing no members of the public, I'm going to close public hearing. Chair is open to a motion on items A and B to continue the motion to a date unspecified. Do I have a motion?
I move that tentative map 21-5 and 20-5 be continued.
Thank you.
I second the motion.
Okay, I have a date and a second to continue these items to a date uncertain. Any discussion on the issue, on the motion? Seeing none, please vote.
Roll call. Commissioner Lewis.
Yes.
Commissioner Doyle.
Yes.
Commissioner Jezebel Moreno.
Yes.
Commissioner Ridley.
Yes.
Commissioner Ellie.
Yes.
Chair Fisher.
Yes. This vote is 6 to. Motion carries. It's a 6 to 0 with 1 absent. Thank you. Next item is old business. Modifications to Planning Commission bylaws. Staff report, please.
Sure. So at the last meeting, the commission discussed modifications to the bylaws as were introduced. And what was introduced was to change the start time from 6:30 to 6 p.m. And Commissioner Ridley had also suggested changing one of the other sections of the bylaws so that the commission would not take up agenda items after 10:30 p.m. Previously, it had been 11 p.m. unless requested by a majority of the commission. So those are the two changes to the bylaws. So I can take any questions that you might have. And if for any reason, by the way, you need to look at the staff report, we can bring it up on the screen and share that. So.
Thank you. Are there any questions of staff? Seeing none, I'm going to open the public comment. Seeing no members of the public, I'm going to close public comment. Planning Commission disclosure of ex parte communication. Does anybody have any disclosures? Seeing none, possible action is for a recommended change. Chair is open to a motion.
I would move that we amend the bylaws to change the start time to 6 p.m. rather than 6:30 and not take up agenda items after 10:30 p.m. unless requested by a majority of the commission.
I think I have a motion. Is there a second?
Second motion?
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, please vote.
Roll call, Commissioner Lewis,
Yes.
Commissioner Doyle,
Yes.
Commissioner Jezebel Moreno,
Yes.
Commissioner Ridley,
Yes.
Commissioner Ellie,
Yes.
Chair Fisher.
Yes. Motion carries 6-0 with one absent. Next item is new business, informational planning current project log. Any questions to the project log? Seeing none, we're going to move on to reports by commission members. Commissioner Bandel is not here. Commissioner Doyle, Bike and Ped Commission.
I have no report.
Thank you. Commissioner Lewis, Street Naming Committee.
No report.
Thank you. Commissioner Adeline Jezebel Moreno, Historic Heritage Committee.
Yeah, so we had a meeting on the 17th of November, and we were working on the historic ordinance work plan. It was a third meeting in regards to that, just making a clear guideline on the ordinance, and so we changed some terminology in there. So we're on our fourth meeting. Hopefully that's the last one.
Thank you. Commissioner Ridley, Downtown Business Association.
No report, but I'm expecting twins this Sunday, so I'm going to be stepping away from just that committee. I'll still be serving on the commission if I get reappointed, I guess in December at some point. But if anybody wants to take a role, in the interim for, I guess, January through March, if you guys want to pop into the downtown business meetings, I'm sure they'd appreciate having somebody else stepping in. So that's open for a while.
Thank you.
Commissioner Ridley, do you know when these, can you elaborate when the meetings are?
I think it's the first, I want to say Monday or Tuesday. I'll let you know.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect, thank you.
Tuesday.
Is it Tuesday?
Okay. Next up is Planning Division report.
A couple of items for the commission. One, as we were just talking about, there is openings for various boards and commissions, and that closes. There's 2 seats that'll be opened. Of course, we have Chair Fisher, who is termed out, unfortunately, and the other, Commissioner Ridley, and I believe your intent is to reapply, so thank you for that. But we will still have one other seat to fill. So application deadline is Friday, December 17th. Interviews with City Council are Monday, January 10th, and appointments, final decision by the council will be January 24th. And so given the timing, we won't have a new planning commissioner for the January meeting, and I'm going to be verifying. In the past, I believe it may have been done where we asked the outgoing member to stay on until a new person comes in, so I'm going to verify if that's the case. So we may get to see Chair Fisher one more time. So thank you. And then I also wanted to bring to your attention, last month at City Council, there was a discussion and an item regarding possible consolidation of some of the boards and the committees and commissions. Doesn't necessarily affect the planning commission insofar as this is in the city charter, and so it's a much more difficult to make changes to the planning commission. In that regard, as far as, can't do away with the planning commission. However, some of the suggestions that came up were to possibly consolidate some of the responsibilities of other boards and committees into the planning commission. So at the December 13th City Council meeting, that'll come up again, and so there'll be additional discussion. So if that is of interest to you at all, to see what the discussion is with council as far as additional duties for the planning commission. Like I said, that'll be on the 13th, and so the agenda packet will be out, Friday, at least by Friday prior to that Monday meeting. And then other than that, I just wanted to, of course, make note that I guess officially this is Chair Fisher's last meeting, and so I just wanted to say a few words about that. If you didn't know, Chair Fisher was appointed back in October 2011 to fulfill, I believe, an unexpired term. So he had a few years there, and then 2 regular terms. So that's 10 years of service on the Planning Commission. And he has served as chair in 2014, and then again starting in 2017 until now. So that's over half of your time, 6 years, serving as chair. Chair Fisher also served on the General Plan Advisory Committee, and there were 32 General Plan Advisory Committee meetings over the course of several years. That was a very long process, some starts and stops there. So that first started meeting in October 2013 and wrapped up 2 years ago. And the one thing to note with all those meetings, Chair Fisher was the only committee member that had perfect attendance at all 32 of those meetings out of all the committee members. And it was actually a pretty large committee. I don't remember the exact number,
25.
but 25 people on that committee. So that's saying something. And then again, serving on that committee, and then our general plan did go on to win an award of merit from the Northern California American Planning Association. So that's something to be proud of there for sure. And just to put it in perspective, when Chair Fisher started on the Planning Commission, the population of Gilroy was at just about 49,000. We're now at about 60,000. And Chair Fisher has definitely been a part of particularly Glen Loma and Hecker Pass plans. Those were just starting when you started on the Planning Commission. So, here Glen Loma is just about to wrap up, so he has definitely been a part of all of that. So, thank you so much for all of your years of service, and you have definitely had a hand in shaping the city of Gilroy and what it looks like today, and that's very much appreciated. As a way of saying thank you, there's a gift for you, something for the holidays, so you can enjoy and
thank you
put
very
on
much.
your door. And then after we're done here, we have some cookies and some water just to
great.
spend a few minutes and say thank you to Chair Fisher. So with that, I'd like to say
Thank you very much. I would like to say that it's been a real pleasure serving the community, and I'm not done serving the community. I have other plans. I have other irons in the fire, as it were, and I'm going to continue to be in public service for as long as I'm able. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. But I did have a question. As always, I always have questions. I had sent you an email asking for the status on 2 projects.
yes.
Can I get an update on those 2 projects? That would be the townhouse project on the corner of First and Santa Teresa, and the commercial property out on Hecker Pass across from the golf course. Those 2 projects. I'd like to know if those projects are still ongoing, if they still have status, or if they've lost their development agreements.
Yeah, I apologize. I have not looked at that. I should have brought that project planning log. That probably would have told me that information, because project at First and Santa Teresa, that's not the apartments, it's
The townhouses,
right?
yes,
Yeah,
the townhouses.
which is different. So let me verify. I will email tomorrow
Okay.
the entire commission with that answer. So I apologize that I did not get to
Because
that.
I get questions about those two projects constantly.
Okay.
And I do know that the property on Hecker Pass is currently for sale. There was a house on that property that they just knocked down yesterday, I think. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to know what the status of those two pieces of projects are. Because I get, and I'm just going to continue to get questions even.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
I won't be on here, but they're going to keep asking me for at least a long time. So if you could get some information on that, I certainly would appreciate it. Thank you. Are there any other questions on the planning division report?
I do have, not on the report, but I have a question of the planning division. So I saw that there was a request for proposals for a consultant to begin identifying efficiencies that could be made in the planning department. Will that impact our commission at all? Will we be interacting with that consultant if they were hired?
You know, I don't know of, where did you see that?
I thought it came from Gilroy, but maybe it was a different city. I don't know. I saw a
No.
request for RFPs. Sorry if I'm like scaring you guys.
Sure, there's not one for our division.
Okay,
so-
then it must have been, or maybe it was Public Works. Now I feel silly. I should have.
No, that's
I should have brought that with me or looked at it more carefully. But I could swear it was for Gilroy. But I will look that up and ask the right people.
Yeah. So just so you're aware, it was probably about 3.5 years ago. There was a study done at the entire community development department that
Okay.
looked at the staffing structure and processing and made recommendations
Okay.
for, improving efficiencies and things like that. So that has been done fairly recently.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Seeing none, we'll move to the Assistant City Attorney's report. Assistant City Attorney is not present tonight, so we'll move on to adjournment. I'm going to adjourn the meeting to the next regular meeting on January 6th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Thank you very much. And good-
6 o'clock.
oh, 6 p.m. Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
I'm reading instead of
Right,
instead
that's
of
our
experiencing.
mistake.
6 p.m. January 6th, 2022 at 6 p.m. Thank you very much, and the meeting is adjourned. Good night.